Hello, my name is John Rosebush. I'm the founder, the CEO, and the president of the Worldwide Development Corporation. I decided to create this video about the opportunities that this new energy invention will give to the world. So far in the past, I've always talked about the problems and issues. This time it's time to talk about the opportunities. But before we start, let me talk about, again, the capabilities of this new energy invention. It's based on kinetic energy on river flow. I created a United Nations challenge and posted it out there. What does the United Nations challenge state? It says if the Worldwide Development Corporation cannot produce 100,000 terawatts of electricity around the world, it will give up its rights to this new energy invention. It also states if it cannot generate 10,000 terawatts of electricity on every continent on the planet except for Antarctica, it will give up its rights to this new energy invention. Finally, it states if the Worldwide Development Corporation cannot generate at least 40 terawatts in 96% of the countries around the world, it'll give up the rights to this new energy invention. Now today, remember, the world generates about 6.8 to 7 terawatts of electricity worldwide. So the difference is almost unspeakable. But not only do we say that we can generate that much energy, we say we can do it cheaper than any form of energy on the planet. Actually 25% cheaper and 50% cheaper than wind and solar. So you can imagine the opportunities of almost unlimited energy will give mankind throughout the planet. So let's talk about the opportunities. The first opportunity is we need to implement this technology. Now, the distribution capabilities are going to shock people around the world. We're no longer going to need long-distance grids, and we'll be able to mass deploy this throughout the world. It's going to take a huge amount of effort, a huge amount. Okay? So now we have unlimited energy. What does that allow us to do? That allows us to make anything possible almost anywhere on the planet. The first thing I can think of is we need to decommission everything, all the old technology. So we need to take all that nuclear waste and store it somewhere permanently, because nuclear plants will no longer be needed. We'll be able to take the turbines away from the dams. So what happens there? No more killing fish. We'll get rid of all the wind turbines, because there's no need for it, and solar the same way. There's no need for it whatsoever. This will replace all forms of energy. But really, the most important form of energy it will replace is oil. Why oil? Because oil is used to make our products that make a modern society possible. And without oil, we can't have a modern society. And I'll guarantee you that 7 billion people today, 7.6 billion, and 10 billion people projected by the year 2050 cannot survive without a modern society. And so what? We're talking about future generations, thousands to 10,000 years from now. We need oil. We need to preserve it. 30% of the oil consumed in the United States is to make products. That needs to be preserved. We need to set up recycle centers everywhere around the world, every country. This needs to be a worldwide participation. That's a huge amount of effort. So far we're decommissioning all the energy. We're changing our electric grids. We're building recycle centers everywhere. You know, today they just come out with a new thing of plastics that can be recycled easily. We need to make sure all plastics are made of that. We need to recycle everything. If we expect a world for our children and grandchildren to live in, these things are essential to the future of mankind, to humanity's future. This is common sense, folks. Even if we replaced all the energy needs and we didn't recycle, imagine 30% of the oil consumed in the United States to make products. We would just run out of oil anyway, and the modern society would not be available to mankind, and 10 billion people could not survive. This is common sense. Okay, what's the next thing we can do? Man, look at the water shortages. The water shortages are so horrible in India and China, it's unspeakable. Totally unspeakable. India, a state within India, a city within India, Chennai, is totally out of tap water. I don't know, 6 billion people live there. China, rivers are drying up everywhere. The crossing of the channels that they've produced, they're stealing from other people that need it. It's not going to last forever. They're going to go downhill quickly. This is going on. This is more horrendous than anybody's ever seen if you actually went out and paid attention to it. And then the smog in China and India will completely go away because this new energy invention is based on kinetic energy from river flow. So it produces no pollution. No pollution. So as it gets implemented around the world, pollution is going to go away. Climate change is going to get reduced because we're going to put less carbon in the air. These things can happen. Now, let's talk about desalination. 60% of the people around the world live close to the oceans. Now, we only, fresh water only makes up about 2% of the water worldwide. We can build desalination plants around the world and power them. Why don't we have a lot of desalination? Because it's very energy expensive to desalinate water. So most countries decide not to do it. With cheap energy, we can build desalination plants everywhere. Everywhere. Turn the entire world into a water oasis. But desalinating comes with responsibility. What's the responsibility? Desalinating creates a lot of brine. I don't know if people know that, but in the ocean water, there's a lot of brine. We need to ship that back out to sea. We could use the unused oil tankers that this will reduce and convert them to brine haulers and ship that brine out to sea where it can mix with the other ocean water brine in a responsible way. Because if we release it close to shorelines, okay, it will destroy the shorelines because it will create an overconcentration of brine along the shores. All these things come with responsibility. Recycle centers must be, every country in the world must recycle. Every country, imagine all the cities having to have big, large recycle centers around the world and then ship those products that were recycled that can be reused to make more products of the same thing. Plastics to make plastics. So we don't consume the oil. Now, land transportation can be easily converted to run off hydrogen. They have hydrogen fuel stations today that look very similar to gasoline and oil, gasoline and diesel stations. We can put in a hydrogen station that it's a very safe delivery system. It creates a hydrogen right at the time of fueling. And we can convert our vehicles to run off hydrogen similar to a natural gas conversion. There's not much difference. Not only do we need to do that, but natural gas for power generation will go away to preserve the natural gas. And also in large cities, they have centralized heating of water for many of the buildings. We can power that by hydrogen. As long as electric comes in to wherever we're using natural gas and we have water, which we could get there easily, we can use hydrogen and generate the hydrogen right at the time of use. We need to eliminate as much natural gas as possible too. Coal plants would totally shut down. And you say, well, gosh, what's going to happen to coal miners? Think about the effort it's going to take to transform our world from a linear economy to a circular economy. We expect full employment, and doing real things, not just, installing wind and solar that are ineffective, but doing real things to create a world where there's a chance for humanity to have a world that is got full of so much hope and future and a place for everybody. This is possible, folks. This is possible. We just need to jump on board here. There's so many things that we need to do. We need to quit deforesting. We can build vertical farms. And we can produce a lot of the small vegetables, etc., that are consumed without having to ship them. All these things are possible with unlimited energy. Transportation fuels, 25 cents a gallon equivalent. Imagine how much available now transportation is to the world. It will be almost unbelievable what we can do. These things are possible. They're not only possible, they're within our grasp. All we have to do is say, hey, let's go forward with this. Let's join the 21st century, where there's a place for hope, a chance for prosperity, and a life that most people would dream of. We can create a water oasis around the world. We have the capability. All the technical work on this new energy invention is available. When I submitted that challenge to the United Nations, I wanted to partner with the United Nations. But so far, that seems like they're just full of politics. You know, we have a president who wants to build walls. No, we need to bring the world together to create a world for everybody. There is a real opportunity. I haven't asked anybody for a penny during this entire project, 14 years of effort. Hard work. And what do I want to do? I want to share it so that the poorer countries have ample energy, can build recycle centers, so we can create a world where what I like to say is anything is possible anywhere on the planet. You know, there's so many things that need to be done, and instead of arguing and all this politicking, we need to worry about our grandchildren and great-grandchildren and all future generations. I know this seems impossible to most of you, but it's not. This is real. All I'm doing is waiting for leaders of the world to step up and say, hey, John, let's get this done. Let's get to the 21st century. Let's create a world where we're all proud of. Instead of these wars that are about to begin, and water wars possibly between Pakistan and India, Iran, United States wanting to blow up or some crazy thing. This is silly. This is completely silly. We are bigger than this. I know mankind is much bigger, and their ideas for a future for our children, it's all the same around the world. So I thank you for watching this video, and if you're a large country, please contact me. Let's get this done. Let's get to the 21st century. Thank you very much.